So we're going to talk about artificial intelligence for 15 minutes. I'm from Safe Swiss Cloud. We're based in Zurich in Switzerland. We have been in business for quite a while. And we have been looking at artificial intelligence in depth since ChatGPT came out. Before we go further, though, I would just like a quick show of hands about how many of you are work in the technology area, okay, and how many of you are more in the business area. Okay, so it's about almost half. So that's good to know. So just about us briefly, very short, won't spend much time on this. So we've got into the artificial intelligence solution business as a result of our own experience. Our own employees started using it, and it kind of bubbled up, and then we said, oh, this is interesting. This has really helped our productivity. So we are here to share this with you. But we also do a lot of managed IT services and cloud hosting. That's our core business. So enough about what we do. We are here to talk about artificial intelligence. So we're going to look at, how can we get a productivity boost in our daily work, working with documents. And then I'm going to talk about something called Agentic AI and something called MCP, which stands for the Model Context Protocol, that we think is going to make a huge difference in terms of using AI to do automation tasks. But we'll come to that later. And then why do we need private AI? This is not just a marketing gag, so we'll show you a little bit. We'll get into why this is an important thing for most companies, in our opinion. Once more, a show of hands. So how many of you are familiar with AI? So you have used one of the AIs like Claude, Perplexity, or ChatGPT, just played around with it. And now how many of you, keep your hands up, how many of you actually use it regularly every day? Okay, that's fantastic. So I'm probably preaching to the converted already. So let's take a quick look at our daily work habits. So the things that we do every day we do a lot of searching, we research something, we answer we have technical tasks, and we do writing, right? So, you have to write a blog post, or you need to write a product page, or you need to write a manual, or you need to respond to a customer query. So these are the main areas where we have been using AI to improve our productivity on a daily basis. Search is something that's really changed fundamentally. So we'll take a quick look at, here is a Google search. You look for something, and you get a whole bunch of links, and now you have to go through each link, click on it, find the thing that you are interested in, and then you say, it's not really great. Then you go to the next one and the next one, and then after a while you have to figure out, put all these bits and pieces together, and then you have the answer, right? Takes a while. Here's the difference. So one of my favorite AI search engines, Perplexity, you put exactly the same phrase in there, and you get exactly what you're looking for, right? What a time saving. This took me 30 seconds, and the other method took me probably 15 to 30 minutes, right? So huge productivity boost in all of our daily work, right? So quick video here about how to use an inference engine. So this is just a demonstration of a private AI system that we have set up that actually goes and tries to let's just wait for it to warm up. So you can see here, that's my colleague David put together all these videos. Thanks for that. So what he did was he picked a URL and said, what are the strengths of this company? So the URL happens to be our company. And so say you're doing some research on, what are the competitors strong in? And you say, okay, they're strong in these areas, so let's try to have a product in an area that they are not specialized in, right? So this is an easy way for us to find this information. And as you can see, you can get a mind map and a heat map. So there are a lot of fancy things in there that can help you visualize the analysis. Okay, so this is a very nice example of how you can use private AI to do research that is really business relevant. So let's move on. So technical questions. Yes, in the meantime, using MCP, one of the things we are looking at is you want to do a technical task. Say you want to set up a server with certain types of software. Well, you can, guess what? You can use AI using MCP interfaces. We'll come to that later. And you can just tell the system, set up a system with software A, software B, connected to such and such network. Only the people in such and such roles should be allowed to access it, etc. And then the AI will generate all the commands and scripts to go and execute all this, right? So this is the vision of Agentic AI, is one of the things. So we can go beyond just answering technical questions and actually go off and do tasks. But here in this case, again, it's the web search is often a slower process than using AI. Okay, writing. Have any of you ever tried this? Say you want to write a manual blog post or something like that. So we thought we'll give this a try and let's see what happens. So we tell it to, we did this one in German just to demonstrate to you that the models can handle a whole bunch of languages. Yeah, so it's not just specific to English. So I said, write a blog post up to 300 words. About the need for private AI, etc., right? So that's how fast it is. So you get all this text, you look at it, you edit it, you're done, right? I mean, it's amazing, right? And our we have a public relations company who helps us with a lot of the material, and they even have an AI that actually reviews what they have written. So they write it themselves. They use the AI for the research, but then they have an AI that reviews the articles for the style, for the mood, for continuity, rhythm, etc. Right? So. These are all things that can improve productivity, but they can also improve quality in a big way. Documents. Half our life probably is consumed with documents. We read documents, we write, we have to write documents, we have to compare documents. There's no end to it, right? Lots and lots of stuff we do has to do with documents. So, and we are asked questions. Go and read this document and say whether, and find out whether, this is something that we should be doing or we should not be doing. Here's an RFP, read it. Is this something we should be bidding on or not? Or you're on the other side of the fence. You sent out the RFP. Now you have 15 replies. You want to get a quick overview of, which replies actually meet most of our criteria, right? Well, run it through an AI and run it through an AI and find out, right? So we have here again, we have another couple of demos. So this one is, David had 2 files about quantum computing. That's one of his hobbies. He was finding out what it's about. And then he has a question about quantum computing that's in these 2 documents, right? But there may be, 2 40-page documents. How do you, reading all this stuff through takes time. So you just ask the question and it comes back with the answer very quickly. Okay, so moving on, another one, a bit more businessy type thing. So this is an RFP that was posted on the internet, so we're not using any confidential data or exposing stuff of our customers. We want, okay, this is a little bit of MCP stuff at the beginning, where you tell the large language model where your files are, and then here comes the question. So this RFP is this teacher's pension fund is looking for an investment manager. So you ask it the question, and let's say you are an investment manager and you want to figure out, well, can we meet all the criteria for what these people are bidding on? And here you go, you get the answer, right? So these are some concrete examples. We have actually used this, by the way. All right, so we have looked at RFPs and said, yeah, this one, okay, it's not worth spending the time on it. This one, yeah, we really need to go for it. Okay, Agentic AI. So this here is a copy paste, again, an example of AI. So everything else I wrote by hand, but these two I just went to Perplexity and said, what is the model context protocol, and copied it here. So the MCP is a way for various components to talk to each other in a large language model context, so generative AI. Let's take a look at the diagram here. So you have the large language model in the bottom left, and then you have your user interface, your prompt or chat or whatever you want to call it. And you want to ask it some questions about various systems that you have. Like say you have an example of a CRM, and you want to access some files. So let's say you have some contracts from a customer and you want to ask some questions about which customers with whom we have had sales growth have their contracts expiring in 1 year or coming up for renewal in 1 year or 6 months or whatever, right? So the idea is that with the help of MCP, you can interface with all these systems. So you can tell the large language model, go and retrieve the list of customers from the CRM system, and check the contracts for their expiry dates, and give me a result. Okay, so you can see that this is a fantastic basis for getting into the whole field of agentic AI, where you say we have a whole bunch of processes in the company, and we'll have an example in a second, and we want to automate them. Okay, so here's an example that my colleague Gerald put together for us with invoicing. So you get a lot of invoices that come in. You need to, this is a complex process, right? You have to, who ordered this? The finance guy will want to know, what is this invoice for? Who ordered it? Was it actually delivered? All this stuff, fairly complex. So you could put this agentic AI, use MCP servers as so each interface is called an MCP server, and then the agentic AI can go and get the data and decide what to do or what not to do. Yeah. Okay, speeding it up a little bit. Why is private AI important? So let's take a look at the public AI solution, right? So your prompt or chat tool, that's owned by the vendor and is hosted by the vendor. And the large language model is also hosted by the vendor. So let's say you give everybody in your company access to AI. Now they start taking, company documents, some public, some confidential. They upload it to the AI, ask it questions like the ones that we looked at. And now that data is somewhere out there. Now, what happens with that data? Let's say your customers find out that you have been uploading, confidential documents related to this customer, or some employees of yours uploaded it in good faith. They didn't intend any harm, but this becomes public. Are your customers going to get upset? So that's one thing that needs to be considered when doing all this. And the other thing is, does it conform to applicable laws like GDPR and all sorts of other laws that exist in various fields? And this is what your employees have access to, and they might upload some of this stuff to the to a public AI system, right? So why does that matter? So let's say one of these public AI providers decides to use some of this data to train their AI system. So in the next generation AI system, say 6 months later, 1 year later, some of your confidential and proprietary data of some special material that you have developed that is very expensive and is a main revenue driver has found its way into the public realm through into your provider's large language model. Coincidentally, a year later, a competitor asks a question about this area, and they get an answer that is actually your company's proprietary information. So this is one of the dangers of using a public AI model to improve productivity among your employees. So what we recommend, and we actually demonstrated it with the things you saw, that you have a private AI solution which you host on your own premises, or you host it with us, or you choose somewhere where you can trust where you host it. And then you set up your MCP servers, and then you can do whatever you like, and you don't have to worry about anything, right? So it's compliant. It will be compliant by definition because of the way it's set up. So hopefully that explains the need for private AI and what risks are involved with using public AI solutions. So that's it from me. We have a stand. We are. It's just in front of the, next to the door of the other room. Come and talk to us. We can actually show you the systems working. David will be happy to go through it with you. We'll be happy to discuss with you what you hope to get out of using AI and how you want to introduce it into your company. Come and talk to us and get a demo, and let's learn something from each other. Thank you very much.